And here we are again. It's been a couple weeks of pedal to the metal, burning late nights, staying up until we cannot stay up anymore, a bleeding sleep,
Right.
make it through the third quarter. So here we are.
Yeah. 2 more days till quarter 3 comes to a close.
Yeah.
And in that time, we haven't really had a launch event, but the app is out there. You launched the site.
Yeah.
HowManyVotes.com is live.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that. We've got our public facing marketing site is out now. So
Yep.
You can come, you can see screenshots, you can see the team of Dan and I on the page. We look much cleaner than we do right now.
Yeah, right. My picture's actually from like 14 years ago. Probably need to update that.
Mine's just 2 years ago. So
yeah. I'm like in my 20s in that picture, so I probably come to think of it.
Yeah. You look good, man. You look the same way you did 20 years ago, man.
Oh, thank you. That's kind. The my Dr. Strange look of the gray hairs. Yeah, right. I can't say anything. You're right.
Yeah. I definitely need to cut my hair. I'm at the stage now where bald head looks younger.
I see that. It'd be intimidating though. Bald would be an intimidating look. I go gray with the goat as well. Yeah.
So we're at a space where I guess a few things are happening. We've got How Many Votes running and our other app are running at the same time. And it seems like the other app is actually picking up a little more traction now.
Yes. Part of our plan was with JurorSearch. There's not a lot of juries happening in a pandemic. And so we sort of thought there's not going to be many juries happening until deep into 2021, right, when vaccines might be around. But as it turns out, there are juries happening. And just last week, we did a murder trial in Maine.
Yep.
Had great reviews. We put in 6 more months into JurorSearch, 8 more months into JurorSearch, and How Many Votes. So it's been it's a polished app. Could always get better, but it's pretty polished. So we're getting traction, we're getting interest, and I hit my wall. I don't feel like I've been able to successfully get the word out, get people on the app for How Many Votes, learn from them, iterate, translate to our development team what features need to be changed, catch the bugs. So we're now thinking that I would focus primarily on all the marketing and customer discovery and feature enhancements on JurorSearch and Saeed. The good Reverend would be the leader
for How Many Votes
and do all that work on the How Many Votes side.
Yeah, and hence is the fork in the road sort of space. Dan's going to take the left road. I'm going to take the right road. So what that means for How Many Votes is that where I'm thinking is that next week there's one major feature we need to work on, and that's just providing us a repository of prefab CSVs, lists, as we're calling them, that people can import into the system. And those are primary legislators from all of our states and the Fed as well. But once that's done, I'm looking at next week. I'm doing a couple different things. One, actually want to do a product hunt for us. And so if you know what product hunt is, I've been on product hunt, I don't know for how long, good years, maybe 4 or 5 years now. But it's exciting to be able to launch your own product. And so you're sort of putting it out there for, a gazillion developers and people of all sort of like flavors of developer, folks who are so far in, all they can do is look down at the keyboard, and other folks who are dabbing in and out and everything in between. But it's a great place to get a lot of feedback, generate a lot of buzz, and to have a lot of people sort of come into the app. And so that's somewhat exciting. And also we've got a couple ad campaigns that we're going to be starting as well. through Facebook and some YouTube ads as well. And so, and Dan, you don't know this. I'm actually building some animated. You have those animatronic videos.
Oh yeah,
that sort of talk through the app and why is the app. And so I'm creating some of those. I'm actually doing it for JurorSearch too.
oh cool.
But want to be able to launch those as well. So those tend to go over really well, particularly with Product Hunt. Opening Hunt screen is a video that sort of describes the product, and then you have a number of screenshots as well. And then you've got like a message from the founders. And then over the course of your day, you're sitting here and monitoring and trying to stay awake because people are like ramming hundreds of comments back and forth to you. So it's a little bit of work, but it'll be exciting.
Yeah, that's cool.
And actually, it'll be my first app that I've ever, hunted or allowed myself to hunt, or been the prey for. And then what we're thinking is that, at least what I'm thinking is that we've always said that JurorSearch will definitely begin to pick up once jury trials begin to become a thing. And they're beginning to become a thing. And then we've also said that HowManyVotes will begin to pick up once we begin to sort of gear up towards winter sessions and veto sessions, and then definitely in the January, February timeframe when each state's legislative sessions begin as well. And so I think we're in a really good time. I think all of our labor is literally building up to what's going to happen over the next 4 months.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think it is helpful as a quick digression, but then to come back around. We made it to the final round of Techstar Chicago. We did not make it to the cohort, but it was a very helpful experience to ask and answer good questions about our business. And we've got a good partnership, but ultimately that's also a challenge if somebody's not kind of in charge to drive the product and the marketing. And I think it is going to be probably more efficient and helpful to have you kind of running HowManyVotes more, and I'll be running JurorSearch more, as that way our heads can both sort of focus on what that market is like and what those people are demanding. And you made a good point in the backstage before we got on our live cast that your vision for it, which makes sense given the price point, is much more of a self-serve product that anybody can jump on, like Slack, right, and just go. Right. Where with JurorSearch, it's high end, it's a much more expensive product, and it's a lot more relationship driven to get people on it. And maybe at some point we'll get to the place where people are aware of it, the brand is out there, and people can. I think it's intuitive enough that people can use it, but at least early on to penetrate through jury consultants and attorneys, there's a lot of time on the phone where I don't, it has to be that way with HowManyVotes at all.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Definitely. Yeah. I think you're going to be in the phone space. I think most of my engagement is going to be electronically. So whether it's through the help system that we haven't quite started using yet.
The Zendesk is set up.
But it's and at least that works for me. I think help systems, and you'll notice when you go to the website, there's that little help button at the bottom. The way it works for me, the reason it works best for me is because whenever someone initiates something, there's sort of like a tracking mechanism, and I can go back and forth. And then, there gets to be a point where you're answering the same questions. And so you can obviously develop things like can text. They will submit those back and forth. So I think we're at that point.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the other part that's getting really interesting is people talk about, scaling your growth, right? And moving from, one at a time to a system in place where have a system to find your newest client who's delighted by the product that you've built and it solves their problem. And that's it's also a pivot, right? So like finding those distribution channels to get the word out. I think it'll be there's more distribution channels out there for How Many Votes that aren't reliant on another professional, like in JurorSearch, right, is the consultant, and the attorney trusts the consultant. And so the consultant, you have to build exactly what they want. Where with How Many Votes, right, we're just solving a problem, which is there isn't a great product that when you're in the thick of it and you've got a lot of people talking to a lot of elected officials, how many votes you got? How many yeses? How many no's? It's really, there's not a great product out there that doesn't allow for the real time collaboration and is as nicely designed as the way you build your things. So I think it's kind of neat to get that. Like that's a more huntable product than I think JurorSearch is. It's so niche,
Yeah. You just suddenly made me think of a whole another feature set that I hadn't thought about.
Talk to me.
When we go out to the field, we assign people to targets.
That's right.
So
interestingly, on JurorSearch, I just got feedback on that too, where the jury pool comes in like day of, and when there's a team of consultants, they assign it to a researcher.
Yep, this is exactly what I thought about. I mean, being able to assign from the list, be able to segment the list into targets, sub-lists, if you will, for individual users.
Or even like the rating, where instead of the 1 through 5, it's the users, right? So that you could say, John Doe's my juror, or Don Harmon is my senator, and instead of rating him a 1 because he's good or 5 because he's bad, you can say, okay, well, Saeed Richardson's the user or the guy in the field. That's who I'm assigning it to.
Or actually, keep the rating and just another column where you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then being able, we took away tabs and How Many Vote.
Yes.
But there could be a tab for the whole list and then one for my list.
Well, that's
or my targets.
Yes. Yeah. But definitely. But certainly that's cool. But yes, because that way we can pull the users and then they populate the drop down on that second rating.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, way to birth new features, right?
It's happening live.
Hey, look,
happening live.
Solid. And so someday somebody's going to come back and say, "Wow, this is a really great feature." We're going to say, "Go back to episode 4."
Yeah, this is why this is one reason we do it, because this is basically our only excuse to get together and talk on a regular basis.
Yeah. And you can tell by the puffiness of the eyes and the scruffiness of the heads that we've been
yeah, right.
Some time in this.
Yeah, late night. We're gonna get there. Yeah, I think we'll definitely have our revenue in fourth quarter, and I think we got a real path for our revenue to sort of not a hockey stick, but significant enough where we're like, hey, look at that, right? We're hitting it.
Hey, I'm going for the hockey stick, man.
I ain't turning it down. All right. Well, this was good. This was great.
Yeah, well,
it's been too long, but now we're back. We're back, man. We're back to all of you, everybody.
Guess who's back? Back again. Sorry, I got my M&M flavor on. All righty. All right. Well, I guess this is it. Great. Until the next time. All right. All right. Peace, love, and many votes.
How many?